Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all you diamonds, you shiny, shiny diamonds. Welcome everyone to Diamond Radio. Diamond Radio, where we talk, we discuss things, things that maybe come to mind, things I feel like might need discussing, maybe things that I want to discuss. People know anyway that this is kind of an extension anyway on my Twitch channel, which is, wrestling content, horror games, so that'll be the main focus. However, there could be other stuff every now and then that I might just turn around and go, do you know what? I fancy having a bit of a chat about it. I fancy coming on, talking about it, giving my opinion, because I think, it's everyone's different, which I totally get. Every single person in this world is completely different and handles things differently, does things differently. Now, I'm genuinely a guy that does normally keep a lot of stuff in. I keep a lot of stuff inside. I don't really go off the handle. I'd say, kind of just get mad a little bit. I kind of just keep a lot in, sulk a lot and stuff like that. But there's a lot of times where talking about it, venting, makes me feel a lot better. I find talking very therapeutic for me. Giving my opinion, giving my say. And when I say giving my opinion, I don't mean like being horrible or anything like that. I just mean giving my opinion from a different outlook, a different, way of looking at it, I guess. Because here's my problem, my big thing that I have with life, humans, that kind of thing anyway. I think as a society, more than ever, I would say, is one person will say something about someone and instantly people will go, that's gospel. That person is a piece of shit. That person is horrible. Without even knowing any of the context, without getting that other person's side of it, their story, their view, or anyone else's view or opinion. And it's a big problem that I think we have in this society. If someone will say something about someone and then everyone just takes that, goes with it and goes, okay, this person is genuinely like whatever. Which brings me to my point of probably talking today, of what I kind of wanted to discuss, which is, if anyone's not aware with the whole AEW situation that is going on, the backstage situation, the fallout from All Out, as everyone's calling, which I think has a great ring to it. I actually really like it. But if anyone knows about that, it's crazy. A lot of situations that are going on, a lot of people speaking about it, a lot of people giving their view, and there's so many different sides to it, and so many people have already formed their opinion on it. Now, yes, I'm obviously going to give my opinion, but I want to give my opinion from like a different way of looking at it, maybe, maybe not, not looking at it as a fan or as a journalist or anything like that, looking at it as someone who, used to do professional wrestling, was privileged enough to be able to do it and give it a go in my time. I don't anymore, but someone that kind of look at it from a different way. And in case anyone's not aware of what happened, you've got to start back from weeks ago when Hangman Adam Page, because that is where it started. It started from Hangman Adam Page going out, cutting a promo, laying into Punk. Even Punk turned around during the promo and was like, I don't even know why you're mad. Like, why are you mad? He seemed confused with what was going on, and then we find out later on from what we heard. And let me just specify that anything I say of what I think, this is from what I have heard, what I believe to be the story or the facts, and if it ain't the facts or the story, then that's absolutely fine. I'm very happy to be wrong and told you're wrong, and that's fine by me. I really don't mind that. That's all good. But Hangman Adam Page seemingly went into business for himself, talking about, without saying it, Colt Cabana, about how Colt Cabana was apparently treated and stuff like that. Because here's the thing, everyone knows CM Punk and Colt Cabana were friends for a very, very long time, best friends. That's fine. Here's the thing, friendships end, and it's life. Friendships end, things change, people don't like each other anymore, people fall out, it absolutely happens. But the problem is, and I even heard people saying this, as soon as CM Punk went to AEW, everyone was like, what does this mean for Colt Cabana? Does this mean he's going to lose his job? Does this mean all that? Why are people already assuming instantly that Punk is going to go in there and go, I want this man to lose his job? I'll be completely honest, I don't think Punk cares at all if he works out or not. Punk is a gigantic star. I think the only thing Punk probably would have said is, I don't want to talk about Colt Cabana. I don't want to work with him. I don't want to be anywhere near him. And I think that's absolutely fine. Because, again, another mindset that a lot of people are in is that you've got to be friends with everyone. That, anyone that turns around and goes, oh, I'm friends with everyone, I like everyone, they're lying. It's fake, it's false. They're not. In life, no matter where you are, work, wrestling, football, sport, and anything you do, there are always going to be people that you don't get on with. That is life. It's natural. It is just the way the world works. There are people you don't see eye to eye with, you don't agree with, you don't like them, they don't like you. And the thing is as well, I've said that right now, and people might turn around and go, oh, but anyone that turns around and goes, I don't want to work with this person or anything like that is, really hard to work with and got a bad attitude. Why is it? It's a good thing that you do that. It helps the business. And what I mean by that, it helps the business you're working for. And what I mean by that is, for example, say you're going on a show, you're on a wrestling show, and you say, look, I don't want to work this person. That doesn't mean you're difficult to work with, but if you didn't tell the promoter that, you then have that match, you don't like that person, they don't like you, you don't really plan anything, you go out there, it's a terrible match, doesn't go well, you didn't like it, they didn't like it, the crowd didn't like it, promoter didn't like it, the promoters then lost money by booking two of you when he could have put you both in different matches where you would have had a better time, made more money. So yes, if you turn around and go, I don't want to work, countless amounts of people, then alright, there's a conversation to be made. But CM Punk may be going, look, I don't care if he's there. I don't care if Colt Cabana's working there. I don't care. I just don't want to work with him. So I believe he probably did that. I believe he probably turned around and was like, look, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do business with it. I don't want to use it as a storyline. I just want to do his thing. I'll do my thing. We'll just stay clear. But the problem is Hangman went into business for himself, seemingly, what I've heard. And CM Punk was not happy about it because apparently there have been lies and rumours that people have said that Colt Cabana has lost his job or was going to lose his job because of CM Punk. And I just don't think that's the case. I think Colt Cabana, I like Colt Cabana, by the way. I think Colt Cabana is a very good wrestler. I think he's a very good storyteller. I think he's a good promo. Some people don't like the comedy aspect. I think there's a big place for comedy in wrestling anyway. So I like him. As a performer, as a wrestler, I like him. But people have been saying, it's mainly apparently come from the Bucks and Kenny Omega and Hangman and stuff like that because they're Colt Cabana's friends. You're obviously going to talk to your friends. But the problem is they're going to be saying loads of stuff, loads of lies through journalists and stuff like that say that CM Punk cost him his job. He's still in Ring of Honor, Colt Cabana. He hasn't gone anywhere. He hasn't lost his job. He's still here. He's in Ring of Honor. He just didn't. It was Tony Khan just didn't want to use him, and that's life, just like other wrestlers. But the problem is, when you're saying stuff about people that isn't true, like I said in this world, the audience and the fans will then get an opinion. Punk was getting booed by people and was having people say stuff about him because they didn't like the fact that he apparently cost someone else their job when he didn't. Even Tony Khan has said that's not the case. So CM Punk then went into business for himself in a promo with Hangman and Page, where he seemingly calls him out, knowing Hangman wouldn't be able to come out and do anything. So they both were bad at each other in that aspect, right? In that aspect. There was then a press conference at All Out, after All Out, where CM Punk literally laid into the EVPs, laid into Hangman, laid into Colt Cabana because he wanted to tell his side. And people have been coming out and saying, he brought it up himself. No one asked him the question. He brought it up himself. He's just trying to cause trouble. He's going into business for himself. But here's the way I look at it, right? Personally, if consistently you've got people saying rubbish about you, lies, things that aren't true, why would you not want to defend yourself? There's so many people in this world that don't defend themselves, that don't stick up for themselves when they should, But again, it's this mentality in this world where, and I've had it, and I've seen it experience of other people as well. If you say to someone, I don't like this, I don't like the way this is going, you're seen as difficult, you're seen as an attitude, you're seen as tough to work with, just because you're not a sheep, just because you're not a yes person that likes to eat piles of dump, just because you don't want to, you're seen as difficult. Now, Am I saying CM Punk is never difficult? Of course I'm not saying that. He probably has been in his time. CM Punk has even said before in his time. He has even come out and said, I've been a dick to people, and I didn't want to be. I was a dick to people. It happens. At the same time, though, I think if you're going to be having stuff said about you, if people are going to say stuff about you consistently, why would you not want to stick up for yourself? Why would you not want to defend that and go, actually, just thought I'd let you guys know, this isn't the case, by the way. Now, people are going to turn around and go, you know, he could have done it a different way, he could have said it differently. That may be the case. That may be the case. He could have easily have gone out and said it nicely, been really nice and, you know, happy about it. At the same time, it ain't life. It ain't life, you know. Things happen. He just had a match. He was tired. You know, he got injured in the match when we found out he was injured as well, done his tricep, would have been in a lot of pain, would have been just wound up and fed up. Now, is that an excuse? No, it's not an excuse, but at the same time, we're human beings at the end of the day. And also, with an AEW press conference as well, it's kind of what they want. They want people to come out there and get fiery, start saying stuff. Now, you know, do I think it was wise to necessarily call out the EVPs and bosses and that? No, it's probably not, because that is your workplace at the end of the day. You know, I think that may come from, you know, Punk knowing that he's a big star, and he is. He's a huge star, big money draw. So I think, you know, a little bit of that, a little bit of ego, which is fine. All wrestlers have it. You got to do that, to do what they do. So, you know, maybe you shouldn't have done it that way, but at the same time, you got to look at it from just the meat of it, which is, this was a guy that has had months and months of childish rumours about him, people talking about him, saying stuff about him consistently. I think he just wanted to defend himself and just go, for goodness sake, this is not how it is. And like I said, Colt Cabana, you know, he very well may have just been talking to people and telling them his side and stuff like that. Probably got lost in translation with the Young Bucks and stuff like that. And they've then got their opinion and said stuff. And this is what I mean. People hear something, they just get an opinion instantly and go, this is the fact. This is the way it is. This is how it is. Without talking to anyone else or finding out any other side of it. And it just annoys me, because then it just causes things like this, causes arguments and stuff like this, because then we found out afterwards that there was a big brawl in the locker room area between, as far as I'm aware, you've got the Bucks, Kenny Omega, CM Punk and Ace Steel. And again, like I said, there are two sides to this story, but the thing that makes me laugh is, as soon as the one side came out first, I had people coming up to me going, oh my god, it was CM Punk's fault, he did it, he did all this. And I'm like, hold on, do you know his account? And they're all going, well, no, but it's just what we heard. I'm like, okay, do not go by what you hear on the internet. Do not go by what people have said might have happened, because you weren't there. And this is the thing that really, really annoys me. I'm not saying Punk is innocent at all, by the way, but what I am saying is, it just seems like no one else in this situation, Ace Steel is getting heat, and I think he should be getting heat, but no one else in this instance is getting heat, is getting blamed, when we need to look at the thick of it, right? You've got the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, who are EVPs. These guys have a real proper high job role where they're in charge of this. You're running a full-blown business with serious money involved. And they have gone storming into his locker room, causing a scene. And no one said anything about that. Like, for me, they should be losing their EVP status. Because a professional, level-headed person that takes that role seriously would have gone, okay, it's annoyed me what Punk has done. However, we're going to swallow our pride. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll have a meeting. We'll let everyone sleep on it. We'll have a meeting and then we'll discuss it. If you're at work in your workplace and you go and you slag off the people in charge, they're not going to come storming up at you when you're having your lunch and try and get aggressive. They're going to be calling a meeting. They'll be calling a meeting where they have someone else in there, you know, watching. So I can't remember what the name is for someone that is probably an overseer. It's probably not the word, but I'm just thinking of something off the top of my head. Someone that oversees what's going on, so then they can go, actually, in case... And do you know why they have that? In case stories come out. Say it was me and other people in charge. It's so, if I say something, the person who oversees it goes, absolutely not. That didn't happen because I was there. This is what happened. It's so they get both sides. So it wasn't done professionally, and it was allowed to be like that. It was allowed for them to do that. And my problem is that I'm thinking, and again, it comes down to this other mindset that a lot of people do have in the world as well. In my personal opinion, I think that the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page created All Elite Wrestling. Of course they did with Tony Khan, absolutely. And All Elite Wrestling is great, and I watch it all the time. But for me, I think they originally got in this thing of like, it's a boys club, you know, and kind of thing of, we get all our mates in, we have all our mates, we'll do the wrestling we've always dreamed of, which is the indie style. You know, you don't have to have promos written for you, we can say what we want and do all that. And then the problem is when they then got to the point where like, okay, now we need to start making some serious money so we can actually progress, you know, they started getting big names in. Danielson, Punk, Cesaro, you know, big names that they're getting in. They already had Jericho anyway, but Jericho is a big name anyway. So they get these big names in, and then it's a case of, okay, now we've got to start being professional. Now we've got to start doing it properly almost, and I don't think they want to do that. I think they're struggling with that. That's why you see, if you watch AEW, there's certain sections that are separate. You know, you've got the Bucks and Hangman and Kenny, they do kind of their thing, and other people do their thing as well. When Cody Rhodes was still there, he was never really involved in any of the stuff that they did. They did their stuff, he did his stuff. You see that the Bucks always have Rick Knox as their referee because he's their mate. You know, people like Michael Nakazawa is there because he's Kenny Omega's mate. And this is what I mean. And I feel like the EVPs completely abused their power. Completely abused it. And I'm not saying Punk is in the right at all. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is we need to understand all sides of the story. And for what we are told. So what we're told is, so from the Bucks' point of view, is they went in, spoke to Punk, Punk punched Matt, then Ace Steel threw a chair at Nick, and then bit Kenny Omega and pulled Kenny Omega's hair. So that's what we heard. And the thing is, as soon as we heard that, people were going, Punk's got to lose his job, Ace Steel's got to lose his job, it's a disgrace and all this. I'm thinking, hold on, do you know all sides of the story? No? Okay, great. And then we hear from the other side of it, CM Punk's side, where the Bucks apparently are smashing on the door. He's not answering because he doesn't want to talk or want to be around anyone. They then apparently kick the door down. And then apparently Matt swings for CM Punk, misses, so Punk then hits him. Then apparently a chair gets thrown at Nick. And then another account is apparently Ace Steel's wife was in the area, in the room, and she had a broken, it was either leg or foot at the time. So that's why he was getting angry and aggressive, protecting her. And that's the thing, you hear different sides of the story, and that's why there's an investigation going on. But the problem is, even though there's an investigation going on, everyone's going, it's a work, it's all this. I'm telling you now, it ain't a work. If it's a work, it's the best work in wrestling history. They have completely fooled me, fooled everyone. Bravo. If they have, CM Punk needs to be in Hollywood, because his acting is unreal. I mean, I know he's good anyway, but if that's the case, that man needs to be in Hollywood. There's no way it's a work. No way at all. So, and that's the point I'm getting at. It just annoys me a lot that people are hearing one side and just going, this is how it is, this is what's got to be done. When I think we've got to look at it from a adult, level-headed side of it, which is a case of, you know, a wrestler, maybe a bit too big for a station in a sense, you know, maybe just, you know, having a go at the bosses and stuff like that. Maybe shouldn't have done it that way. Maybe he should have, you know, arranged a meeting and gone from that. Like I said, he was defending himself with the journalist that was around there for that. I think EVPs overstepped their power massively and completely unprofessionally provoked the situation. So I think, you know, the fact that they're all suspended at the moment is, I think it's the correct decision. I think, you know, the belts being taken off all of them, get them off TV for a bit while we do an investigation. And then once the investigation is done, once it's done, it's dusted, it's finalised, then everyone can make a view. Because people were telling me, people were going literally, CM Punk's got to be fired. Got to be fired. And I said, okay, cool. If we fire CM Punk right now, and then it comes back as the investigation, as that someone else swung at him first, so he was just self-defense. Do we then bring him back with our tails between our legs? Sorry, we completely overstepped the mark and just guessed that you were in the wrong. And that's the thing, and it's just this crazy mentality that we have, and it annoys me so much, because I just can't stand it. I just feel bad for anyone. I've had it done to me before as well, and I just feel bad for anyone that, something is said about them and everyone just thinks it's gospel. They just think, okay, that's correct, and it's awful to me. I think personally that what's happened at the moment is the correct decision. I think the things that have been said that we know for fact is Matt was punched by Punk, a chair was thrown at Nick, and Kenny Omega was bitten and had his hair pulled. So depending on when it comes back, I think either way, I think the EVPs need to lose their EVP status. They need to lose it. They have clearly shown they are not professional enough and cannot do it. They have clearly shown that they have overstepped the mark, so that should be gone instantly. And I think it's one of those situations, because it all as bad as each other, and I'm including Hangman in this, by the way. I think it's really ridiculous that Hangman is not getting put into this, because he started it. If he didn't start this by going into business for himself because of something he heard, then none of it would have started. So I think he should be in this equation as well. But I think it should be a case of you either suspend all of them and give them all one more chance, or you fire all of them. I think probably Ace Steel should be fired because he bit someone. He threw a chair, bit someone, and pulled Kenny Omega's hair. And that's a fact. So I think for that, because he was a producer as well, so that's a huge abuse of power. So I think either way, he should be gone. But you look at Punk, the Bucks, Omega, Hangman, I think they should either all be suspended for a while, or they should all be fired. Because Tony Khan has got to take a stand right now. He has to. He cannot let the inmates run the asylum. And what he does now as a decision is gigantic. You do not want to give the impression that just because CM Punk is a massive star, which he is, by the way, incredible star, huge draw. I don't care what anyone says, huge draw, money wise, puts asses in the seats. You cannot give the view that because you're a big star you can get away with anything, because that's another horrendous toxic trait that humans have, which is if you are a big star or you add a lot to a company or a team or anything like that you can get away with murder, and you shouldn't ever be able to do that. So I think it should be a case of all go or all suspended, whatever you do. But this is a huge decision, unless the investigation comes back and it turns around and it goes, Punk completely provoked them, or the Young Bucks completely did it. It was all on them. If it comes back unanimously, then you can make the decision. But that's the point I'm trying to make. It really annoys me because I see it on Twitter, YouTube, everything else. Everyone is hearing one bit of a story, one bit of something, and then instantly going, this is the fact. This is it. This is how it is. This person's a piece of shit. This person is, a twat. This person should never be around anymore. Oh, they're so difficult to work with. And it's ridiculous. Let's just look at it with a level-headed, adult way of looking at it and go from there. I think that's what we should do. And it just, like I said, I just think I don't think it's always been this way. I think it's just kind of like, I don't know, this new generation of way of thinking, of being this way. And it's scary. It's scary because it's almost like you can't make a single mistake ever. And it's just not real. It's just not real. Everyone does. Humans make mistakes, animals make mistakes. It seems to be, and I get it, if you're in a profession, you're on TV and you're making a lot of money, of course, there's standards that you will have to adhere to and certain ways to behave. But at the same time, mistakes happen. It's life. It's the world. And I think people are so quick to punish someone, or so quick to blame someone, or so quick to go, oh, this person doesn't deserve to do their job anymore, even though they're really, really good at it because they made one mistake. And I know people are going to turn around and go, oh, CM Punk's made loads. But again, that's your opinion. If you know the facts, then you could go from there. But that's kind of my thing, I think. But it was something that was really bugging me. I was seeing so much stuff and thinking, do you know what? I've just got to get it out and talk about it. Just things like no one's talking about the EVPs very much, abusing their power, or no one's really talking about Hangman, the fact that he started it, and stuff like that. I just think sometimes we've got to take a step back and look at things from all angles, every side of it, and then make a decision. Because if Tony Khan makes the wrong one, now I don't know if this is a bit extreme, but if he makes the wrong one, AEW could be in deep trouble. If they've got stars, they'll be fine. They've got Jericho, and as much as I don't like him, you've got Moxley, and you've got Danielson. So you've got stars. It will be okay. But I don't think anyone's drawing 1 million like Punk did. I don't think anyone is. So if you lose that big star, it's a big drop. But that was just my opinion from a different view. Someone that's not. I am a fan, but I'm not necessarily a fan because I did it. So I know all the ins and outs. I know the magic, if you will. I know how the magic is done. So from a different view of it, not a journalist, not necessarily a fan, someone that's just been around it, been around where people don't like each other, people fall out, people argue, and people judge way too quickly. And I think let's just be calm, relax, wait till we know the facts, then go from there. Of course, we could discuss it, talk about it, absolutely, but let's know the facts before we do anything. But yeah, I just wanted to literally talk about that and get that out. I feel great for doing that. I feel fantastic for doing that. But I think that's probably it. I think that's probably me done in talking about that. But no, I really thank you guys for listening. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you did, because obviously it's first Diamond Radio, and like I said, with my content of what I do, it will be a lot of wrestling related, maybe horror games and stuff, but there might be a time where I just go, do you know what, I have to come on and talk about this. So there may be a very, very big chance that I might do that, but I appreciate it very much. If you like what you saw, guys, give it a cheeky like, give it a sub, do all that cool jazz that we always do, and check the link as well, because I stream Monday to Friday as well, so come and talk to me in there. We have a lovely chat in there, lovely laugh as well. But have a great day, guys. Really appreciate you listening, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Take care. God bless.